What is the number one skill that anyone who needs to sell for a living must have, yet only about less than, I would say, 10 to 15% actually do? It is the skill and ability to know how to meet and speak and consult and enroll a prospect into being a happy paying customer or client. That is the process that I want to go through with you in this video, because I have been doing a lot of work with a lot of businesses over a long time, and most recently where I have seen a very, very growing need, important need, is for professional business executives, business owners, and anyone who needs to sell high level products and services, to have the skill and ability to know how to effectively consult and enroll a client into paying, which is what I want to share with you. So, what's the problem? The problem is that most professionals that I meet and see, and I've been there myself, is through all the years of learning and development, whatever career in an industry you're in, quite often I see these professionals, they've kind of made up their own process. Yet if you ask most, and maybe this is something that you can ask yourself, or possibly even need to ask yourself, if you need to improve conversions, enroll more clients, make more sales, do you have a recipe that takes you from here to know how to skillfully communicate and enroll that prospect into wanting to pay you, buy your product and service, take on your system, whatever it is? And if the answer is, well, kind of maybe, all the way through to yes, I definitely know, wherever you are on that scale, if it's kind of maybe, I would highly recommend you watch this video. And for those of you who I would now like to say hello and welcome as my members of the Attract Client Grow Sales Learning System, which for those of you who aren't aware, this video, this beginning part of the video is a complete video in my Attract Client Grow Sales Learning System, which is an online video-based training program where you can learn these and other very, very important skills with how to establish your company and business successfully, how to run it successfully, how to attract clients and leads through modern forms of marketing, how to become a true sales professional using modern non-manipulative forms of selling and enrollment, and how to be a great leader, a manager, and leader of people and provide the best customer service. So the details of that program is below. Okay, so let's jump into it. So to my members, welcome. We will continue on this whole journey along this video to give you this very important training today. For those of you who are guests watching from social media, this is going to really open your mind up to what is possible to really learn how to go on that journey. And just so you know, this process that I'm about to teach you, I learned from a very, very smart business director, where I invested into his business to buy a business consulting coaching practice, which I spent many thousands of dollars to invest into that program. And this was part of what I learned. And what he taught me, with me being able to learn this process, has been truly life-changing. I have personally taught and trained people from all industries and all careers, which range from, I've just listed a few here, which range from RTO, business development executives and professionals, event organizers, accountants, digital marketers, Facebook advertising marketers, bookkeepers, IT consultants, speakers, general business consultants, coaches. I've even trained psychologists on this process to be able to improve their ability to charge higher fees, so that they can present more value, which we'll come to. Cosmetical surgery, business development executives, the beauty industry, executives that sell various forms of options and futures trading programs. I have taught this process, and they have all achieved various results ranging anywhere from roughly 20% increases in sales and conversions within a matter of months, sometimes in up to 200 to 300% increases in sales and conversions. Very recently, one of my clients, a digital marketing consultancy firm. They have doubled their conversion rates by following this system in less than 2 weeks. This system works if you work it. So let's continue on, shall we? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to here, which is the consult to enroll structured process. So this is the training guide and document that supports this video in the Attract Clients Grow Sales education system. And it is the script and structure for what every smart business development professional who sells for a living should know, with how to meet and speak and consult and enroll a new client's pathway and process. This is a proven system for you to convert and to convert with confidence, to get the client, sell the product, get the sale, get paid. That's what this process and what this supporting document does to allow you to go and take your prospective prospects on a journey to buy and enroll from you. So what I'd like to now do is I'm going to go through this structure in a step-by-step process. So if this is what you need, this is your lucky day for tuning in on this video. So let's continue. And as you know, my name's Trevor Russell, and this is part of the Attract Clients Grow Sales system. That's the URL there. Okay, so stage one, your preparation for really growing your conversion rates and sales. I'm going to move through each of these areas one step at a time. The first one is here, to be an expert in any area is about deciding to be good at what you do. So if you are in the business of selling products and services, decide to be the best that you can. I worked with a company yesterday. It was a sales team of primarily women who sell very emotive, cosmetic-related surgical packages to help women look better, get various forms of surgery, as you can imagine. And this is a quite a substantial investment. And as we found out through the training, most of them, probably 95% of them, do not have this process. They've gotten some training, they've kind of figured it out, but they realized that they didn't. But as part of that conversation, I asked them, have you truly decided to be a professional in the skill of sales and enrollment? Do you study it? Do you work it? Develop it? And guess what? I think one hand went up. If you are in the business, whatever you sell, whether it's IT systems, whether it is software, whether it is coaching, consulting, accounting, you are primarily in the business of sales and business development. What you do after that is the delivery. So please decide to be your best. And this education, this video could be one of those very important videos and forms of education that if you are really committed to being your best, this is the one to watch. This is a process that works. So let's continue. Number two, your speak, meet, consulting, meeting, enrollment goal when you meet with people is to either find out they are your ideal type of clients, to either enroll into another meeting, a proposal, or to get the actual sale, or not. If you're in the business of consulting to enroll clients into products and services, you will, and really what we're talking about here, we're talking a more executive, senior director level product or services. We are talking, we're probably not talking, what are we talking? Hairbrushes. We're talking probably a $3,000 upwards type product generally, but I have taught this process to bookkeepers that sell a $200 bookkeeping package. So please don't let me turn you off that you can't use this for anything, but just some of my speech today in this video will be directed more to that level. So thank you for that. This consult to enroll a client new pathway works if you work it. As I said, if you want to cook a cake, you follow a recipe. If you want to be really good, as I said, an expert, point one, if you feel that you're here and you want to get to here, you need a better recipe. You need to have the recipe and follow it. Most people I have seen, as I've said, including myself once upon a time, do not have the appropriate recipe that they follow from start to finish, which is research and qualifying the potential lead, getting in touch with the potential lead, creating enough value to be able to gain interest in a meeting, to then having this meeting, to then enrolling them. Having that formula is very important. So please, you must work a process, study it, get better at it, or you'll just be mediocre like all the rest. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But if you want better, here's a way for you to be better. When you make a meeting with a potential client or customer, make sure it's the best use of everyone's time by confirming if anyone else needs to be there, needs to be involved with the meeting. There's nothing worse than spending 1-2 hours doing a client consultation meeting only to find out that there's another very important decision maker that's not there. And then they're going to do the Chinese whispers presentation, and it could potentially cost you a lot of time and money because you didn't have them all there. Now, I know from experience, you're not going to always get all the decision makers there. However, make it a priority as your preparation to do everything that you can that they are there. And if they're not, you get to do the presentation as stage 2, not someone else who is inexperienced in your products and services. You're the best to do that. Okay, the next is number 5. If you don't have a complete start to finish recipe for enrolling customers and clients, this recipe works if you work it. But as I said, you must study it, you must practice it, and you must make it your own. When you speak or meet with potential clients or customers, you're there to determine if and how you can provide value and service to them. I see a lot of companies and executives and professionals still selling on features. People don't buy features. They don't buy that it has 48 functional keys. They buy that it's going to save them time. It's going to save them money. It's going to allow them to get home early to see their family. It's going to allow them to have that car. It's going to allow them to go on that holiday. It's going to allow them to pay all their staff with profit left over. So we always want to go to our product and service does this so that you can get that, and that. So if you remember 2 words as part of this training is so that, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. Number 7, determine the value and ROI, both emotionally and financially, that they are going to achieve if they purchase, they employ you, or buy your product and service. It is your job as the consultant, as part of this process, to help them understand what that emotional and financial ROI is. And again, remember, people buy feelings and outcomes. They don't buy AdWords. What they buy AdWords for is so the phone rings more, so they have more customers, so they can make more sales, so they can pay their staff, so they can have profit, so they can go on the holiday. That is where we want to take them. This AdWord campaign will do this, this, and this, but most importantly, we want to get the phone ringing 10 to 20 more times a week so that you can sell more products, because I hear that making more revenue and attracting more clients is important to you. Is that correct? See what I mean? And to the converted who know this, thank you. I appreciate you listening. And respectfully, I understand that for some people, you're already experts in this, but you might find it a pleasant reminder. So thank you. Number 8, be confident when talking about fees, money, the benefits, the using of your product or service, and the value and the results that you deliver. In your presentation, when you follow this structure, or you take this information and improve your current structure that you're following, it may help to just remember the importance that if we're going to talk about money and fees and values, we must do it with diligence and confidence, as opposed to, we really must own the money. But I'm going to share with you shortly, after you deliver any fees or costs, the things to say that have them go from, that could be a bit too much, to I see the value, and the cost and fees have become far more inconsequential. Very powerful for you to know, to help you improve the conversions from meetings. Number 9, be a professional and be prepared. Make sure that you have all the relevant paperwork and documentation, systems access, support to successfully demonstrate and enroll your potential client. I see people going and having meetings, sometimes some very, very well-dressed professional, seasoned professionals, going to have, say, whatever, a coffee meeting or even a boardroom meeting, and they don't have all their material. It's like, oh, well, I didn't bring that, or I don't have that, I'll get that later. We go there with the intention in the preparation that we either are going to get the proposal agreement to go to agreement to proposal, or we're going to go to the sale enrollment, or possibly to schedule a time to meet at another time in the future. But always going with the intention that we are getting the business, we are getting the proposal, we are getting the yes. It's not the, oh, I'll get to it later. If you want to be the best, if you want to improve results and be a professional, okay? Number 10, whether you get the client or not, your aim is to qualify and find out if and how you can bring value and leave them feeling better for the time they invested into you. The reality is we have meetings with prospective clients, customers, and it is not always going to be able to do business on the day. That's why I talk a lot here. The enrollment is very often in the type of presentation I'm doing today into a plan and proposal. It's into having a next meeting where a decision is going to be. It could be to even have to reschedule another time to go into things in more detail if you have a complex product and service. So whether we get them to enroll now, we want to do our best to qualify if and how we can bring value. And I mean value in emotional and financial results, and ROI is what I'm talking about here. As executives, professional consultants, business development experts who are in the business of presenting and enrolling products and services, this is the primary aim of what we need to do in our work, in our role, which is to find out if and where we can bring value to our prospective customer. Got it? Okay. Hope you like that reminder. Okay, so I hope you're learning something. Say, yes, Trevor, I'm learning something. Okay, give yourself a pat. Let's continue on. All right, so now where we're at is your 7 pillars, which is the consulting to enroll a client scripted pathway. This is the script process that I'm going to go through with you now to help you understand the things to say and do to take people on the journey from here to here, to follow that recipe, to give us more confidence, more strength and ability to be able to enroll our clients. So here, number 1, the consultation to enroll a client pathway is broken into 7 pillars. Know each pillar. When I teach this and when I learned this, these 7 areas I literally remembered over and over. Connection, frame, explore, create, confirm, enroll. We need to, if we want to be professionals, if you want to improve your results, you've got to study and learn your recipe. Spend a little less time on Facebook, a little less time on the social media, a little less time on the coffee breaks, and become masterful in your career to sell with skill and confidence. And for those of you who I know are watching this, some of you are very good. So thank you for listening in. But hopefully you're getting some value here, some good, pleasant reminders. Okay, develop your own product and service related questions in these 7 pillars. This is a generic model, and this is something that I'm giving you where you can then go and bolt in your specific diagnosis questions and all the other elements that relate to your product and service. I have marked here as number 3, regardless of what product and service you're selling, the words and sentences highlighted in yellow are critical for you to know. So if you're an Attract Client to Grow Sales member, you will be given a copy of this script as a member, as you already know. And with us coaching together as part of that program, I will help you to improve the language to suit your product and service. For those of you who are watching on social media or out to my community, you can see what I mean here. And of course, if you want more help, we can talk. Okay, so number 1, but the yellow areas are very critical. Number 1, connection, pretty obvious, right? Where we're meeting, we want to connect with the person, we want to relax, we want to relate. We want to both get comfortable, okay? Because this is an important conversation, this is an important meeting, and nothing worse. And for those of you director styles out there who are in business development, make the time for your prospect and customer. If you're going to go all that way, or if you're going to book that meeting, you've done all that work, schedule in the time in your diary to have the meeting and give it the time that it needs, because your career could depend on it, your business could depend on it, your staff, your family could depend on it. So commit the time. Okay, so number one, connection. Got it? Number one, connection. Oh, so very quickly, we have the key areas are connection, frame the meeting structure and intention, exploration, which is about them first, determining the ROI. Then we go into creation of the solution, which is about us, then what we do for them and how we help them. Number five is the confirmation. Number six is the enrollment. Excuse me, just need to change that number, and that's number seven, the closing words. So I'll fix those numbers later. I just made some changes, but let's continue. Okay, so four key areas. So the meeting is run in a productive, clear, intentional manner. This is a very, very important area that most executives do not know and do not do. I have met with many of them, and again, I work in this area. I studied this area. That's why I know it. You have skills in other areas. But to frame up a meeting is such a beautiful way to get the meeting set off on the right foot, and it has you as the business development executive professional, the consultant, in the driver's seat, because whoever lays out the meeting, asks the question, really does drive the meeting. So that's good, but we also want a very collaborative communication process. Not, oh, will they buy from me? It's like, I would like to meet, I would like to see if and where I can bring value, and I would like to make sure it's going to be of benefit to my potential client that I'm here with, talking, meeting, speaking with. Collaboration is the energy. Okay, so I've just put here some general script, which is, I know you're busy. So, if I may suggest, to make sure we get the most value from our time together today, how about we go through this as a plan? And I will quickly share a bit about what we do. I'd like to then go through and ask you some questions that are very much about finding out about you and your business, or wherever you're talking to someone, to really find out about them, or their needs to improve logistics, or their warehouse system, or their IT software. And I really want to find out about those products and services. Number three, I can then share my suggestions and recommendations with where I can see we can bring some value right here today in our meeting. And if we both agree that there is benefit in working together or employing us to assist you in these areas, we can take a look at if and how to proceed from here. How does that sound? So we have now an introductory structure where we can take people on a journey and their minds go, okay, that sounds fine. I have gone through this structure with very senior professionals. I'm a certain type of look and style that may not be for everyone, but having a structure for me works because it allows me to actually, apart from what I possibly look like, be a professional. And I know the job that I do, and I do a good job, but this does give me a professional structure. And if nothing else, has me now enjoy sales consultation enrollment process, where it's now fun because I feel confident and structured, whereas before, when I didn't have it, it was a very nerve-wracking experience, which I'm sure some of you watching this can relate. And for those of you in my members program, having already spoken to you about that, we know that, right? Okay, so we've now done the frame up of the meeting structure. Now, very quickly here, sharing what we do and why we do what we do. Okay, so not that we want to make this meeting about us, we want it to be about them, but I have just found through my training and experience, when we can do this here, it really does help to build a better connection. And it goes something like this, which is very quickly just a bit about me or us. What we do is we help our clients with this, this, and this. And why we do this is because we're very passionate about our clients getting the value in these areas for the work that we do, for what our products and services do for them. And really, more than anything, what we have found most rewarding with the work we do for our clients is it really helps our clients to be able to duck. which is not the widget, not the 48 key functionality on the software program, not the controls on the $48,000 forklift, but what it does for them, how it saves them time. So what we really help our clients to be able to do with our product and services, it allows them to grow their revenue. It allows them to actually attract more clients. It actually allows them to make more revenue. It allows for more efficiency. It allows for more cost saving, which ultimately is going to help you in your business to increase revenue, reduce costs, whatever it is. You see what I mean? We always want to go to the bottom line benefits that they really, really want. And from my experience to date, ladies and gentlemen, no matter whether it's a large banking institution all the way down to a small digital marketing agency, it comes down to what I see are these three areas. Reduce costs, increase sales revenue, increase customer base. That's what I find. Don't know about you, but that's what I come across. Okay, exploration. So here, this is now where we go into finding out about them. We've framed the meeting up. We've shared a little bit about them, about us and why we do what we do. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, that sharing what you do and why you do is very hard for a lot of people. Australians do not like talking about themselves. They do not like, I'm not saying you have to talk yourself up and be some extroverted, extreme person. But what I'm saying here is to very politely and professionally share what you do and why you do, but you are not there to pitch them for an hour on how amazing you are. You haven't built connection yet. You haven't determined their needs. The old school advertising days, I used to work in the ad industry. We're amazing. We can do this. We can fix all your problems, not asking them enough questions. Those days have changed. Today is about relationship, about value. It's about connection. It is about the merging of fixing problems and needs, what companies deliver. It is about value, connection, relationship. Okay, exploration. Here is now where we go into the diagnosis. If you're a doctor of improving productivity, if you're a doctor of improving online traffic, if you're a doctor of social media marketing, if you're a doctor of accounting, a doctor of law, a doctor of bookkeeping, this is where you now become the doctor to do the diagnosis, which is to go in, and our role is to now find out where's the pain, where's the hurt, what's the need, what do we need to know so we can develop a cure plan to help our prospective customer or client. So as a general structure, again, attract client growth sales members, you will be developing your own specific questions. My members, my community list that has this video or social media, this is you going away and figuring out those questions that you know to ask, or if you don't do this, need to develop to ask if you want to be really good at this. So it goes like this. Anyway, enough about me or us. We'd really like to find out more about you or your business or this division, whatever it is that you're talking about. Can I ask you a few questions? And these are the type of questions that I've found generally are what work well. When we originally spoke, what was it that had you think it would be worthwhile speaking to us further? So if you've done preliminary prospecting, which generally in these meetings, whether it's at a little business networking event all the way up to you're selling a major medical solution into a hospital unit, there would have been some preliminary discussions. So what was it? It's a bold question. It's not for everyone to ask. However, I do know a lot of executives in the business development space that do ask this question. Up to you to use it. Were there any specific reasons that had you come to the decision to want to meet and speak? Slightly different, same question, but again, opening up, what was it about us and our conversation that had you want to meet and speak? And listen intently. Right now, what would be your biggest concerns in relation to which is whatever it is that you're there talking to them about to find out about? This is a beautiful question that I do use a lot. It's not straight up that I ask this. It's more after I've done some initial fact-finding diagnosis, which is, Well, if we were sitting here 6 months from now and we'd worked together, helped you in these areas of business growth and development, and we're looking back, what would you like to have seen fixed, changed, done, improved? How would that look? What would those results and outcomes be? And then that gives them the opportunity to share where they are and where they want to go. And there's some subtle, powerful language in there, which is if we were sitting here 6 months from now, looking back, meaning that we're going to work together, what would you want to have achieved to feel that it's been a worthwhile relationship? I'm sure that makes sense. What has stopped you or put you in this situation? How did you get here? Why is this division not working as well? Why isn't the team as productive as they could be? Why is the plant and equipment not working as best as it could? Why, whatever that is, why did they get here and why has it taken so long? Um, this is another bold question, not for everyone, not for every role, but how has, things not working been affecting you, your family, your team? It's a powerful question because when you take people to pain and they really get their pain, then we can hopefully help them get a cure. But sometimes we have to really take people there first so that they actually really get that they are in the shit, excuse my language. Because a lot of people kind of think, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, when very often it is very bad. Optimism is a good thing, but sometimes it's delusional. Sometimes things need to be addressed, money needs to be spent, people need to be brought in, changes need to be made because it eventually puts businesses in the insolvency place, which is not good for anyone. If you don't get some fixes going, what's going to happen? Very powerful question. If we don't improve the team's ability to generate more sales and revenue, what is really going to happen to this business? Because it looks like to me it's heading down a steepy slope. Yeah. Okay. So where where I'm hearing that you'd really like to make changes is in this, and this area. This is very nice at times to really just do some subtle feedback through this diagnosis process, because at times we need to just reinforce back what they're telling us because we're taking notes. And another form of the question is, if you don't get some fixes going, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Very, very important here, determining the return on investment. Again, what I see a lot of people, especially in the digital space, very often they sell on features. We're going to implement this software that will allow you to be found more. We're going to develop this digital marketing campaign that will allow you to have higher ranking. So that needs to be added, which is so that you can have the phone ringing more, that you can make more sales, that you can be the standout in your industry, be the go-to business in your industry, smash out competition, get people to the end game, what they really want, that has them, those things that keep them awake at night. That's what we want to provide the cures to. And determining the ROI is very, very, very powerful if you know how to do it and where it's appropriate for your product and service. Because some products and services deliver very often a more of a solution fix, and but to the skilled executive business development professional, my recommendation is, if you don't do this enough, or if you already do, testament to you, very important to determine what the cost's going to be or the investment is going to be for them, and the return that we're going to help them achieve by using our software, using our system, using our services is going to be dramatically bigger, right? Because investment, cost, return, efficiency, cost saving, improve revenue, improve productivity, improve confidence, improve motivation, improve clarity. When they get there, this becomes so much more digestible. Yep. So return on emotional and financial investment, which I've just written. If we can help you fix this and that, what type of increases would you like to see in sales revenue, client growth, or reduction in expenses, or improved efficiency? What would that be? Another one. So if we were to work with you and your employee or your systems, your targeted growth results KPIs would be in the range of dot dot dot. Would that be right? Or ask us what would that be? So again, getting clarity on the ROI. Now, depending on your product and service that you're offering, of course, some organizations and companies do have allocated budgets. This I find is the very nice area to ask, is there a budget allocation for our type of product or service? Seeing we're exploring that here, just so we can, if we move to proposal stage, we're aware of what those budgets are and have a conversation about that. And then, depending on the depth of your product and service offering, you may have an extensive list of diagnostic questions to really dig in, which can be very, very specific. As you would know, you could be talking extensively about HR and team development, management, leadership, IT systems, general systems, suppliers, sales, marketing, finance, administration. So your diagnosis questions are going to have to be very specific to the product and services that you represent that are related to those specific divisional business company areas. Okay? All right, so here we're now at the summary of the diagnosis. After you've done your diagnosis, you've taken lots of notes. Oh, very important thing. We are going in a straight line as best as we can, from meeting to connecting to framing to exploring. At times, what happens is, especially when you've got a very, strong personalities, company leaders, directors, very often the meeting can go off in directions that you don't want them to go. It could be, well, how much is this all going to cost, right? Very common question. My suggestion to you is, if you get derailed, please try and find the courage and strength and language to stay online, which is, we can talk about fees. However, I would prefer to wait, because I do need to understand more about what's going on to really make sure that I can actually articulate the appropriate fees for this service. And right now I can't, because there's a number of things that we need to go through. So we will get to that. So can we just continue on and park it, right? Just because a prospect asks a question does not mean that you always need to answer it right there and then. In this process, it works beautifully to answer all those things along the way, so you don't get derailed, because then what happens is you lose the effectiveness of the meeting and the structure, and very often lose the business because it wasn't done properly. Okay, so here, diagnose summary. After you get the facts, the needs, their frustrations, the concerns, and the outcomes and results that they need, this is where you would summarize, just to finish off the exploration diagnosis. So in summary, just so we understand where you're going to need assistance, what we can help you with, what we're looking at helping you implement, change, do, working together. If we can change this, that, improve that, implement that, so that you can achieve X, Y, Z, that's what we're looking at here. Is that correct? Yep. Okay, so again, summarizing the outcomes. Here is a little bit of language for those of you in the members group. We've talked about this. We will talk about this. For those of you watching it out there in my community and on social media, this is some interesting language. Use it, don't use it. I guess you'd be imagining right now, when you change, get fixed, improve those things, you're going to look at this, that, and the other very differently. Would that be right? You're going to feel a whole lot more excited, clear, happier about this, that, and the other. Would I be guessing right? What am I doing here? What I'm doing is I'm taking their imagination to the future desired outcome that we want for them. If we're a company that helps them get found on the internet, let's say, improve their positioning on Google, improve their ratings and their recommendations, and they stand out more. It could be, I guess you could imagine right now, when we improve your positioning online, you become a standout business in your industry, you've got more reviews and ratings, and people are coming to your business, your site more often. you're going to look at your online presence very differently. They're going to look at it differently. And you're going to feel a whole lot happier because you're getting more inquiries, you're getting more phone calls, your business development team are meeting more customers, you're generating more sales revenue. Would I be guessing that would be how you'd be looking at it? See what I mean? We're taking them there visually. Very powerful, takes a bit of skill, but nothing none of you can't do. But it's a beautiful thing too to take our prospective clients and customers to a nicer outcome than where they currently are. Just remembering the hot buttons. Everyone wants to be happier. Everyone wants to make more money. Everyone wants to pay their bills. Everyone wants more freedom, more time, more clients, and more efficiency to reduce stress. Wherever we can take our prospective customers and clients to there is always a good thing. Okay, and this is where you will know for some of your products and services, this is not of value to them and they are not your client. Now, this process, while we're taking a little bit of time here, this process can very often be done in a matter of 20 minutes, depending on the depth of your product and service, sometimes 30. But I like to see by here, and I've generally got a very good idea that they don't have the budget. They have the need, but they don't have the want and desire to do what they need to do. So it can save a lot of time by going into a whole solution structure because you've qualified that they are actually not your customer or client. Again, very specific conversation, but even someone you're selling a $50,000 BMW car. You're following this process. You've asked them these questions. You've taken them here and you found out that they literally just do not have the money, or they're just looking. They're never going to buy. It's all too much. They're more just tire kickers. So qualifying well upfront can save you a lot of time so you can move on and work with other people who do want your products and services. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop it here. For those of you who are watching on my community list and in social media, if you want to get the rest of the information and the training on this program, uh, because this is a long video and I don't want to take up all your time right here, right now, you can go to attractclientsgrowsales.com.au and you can just register there into the program. You can trial it for $1 to get in. And what I would do is and I don't think you're this person, but if you even just want to go to this video in the members area once you're in, you could do that if you wanted, but hopefully you would stay because you would see all the other videos and training in there and you get some coaching with me. And it's literally less than a few dinners out and some alcohol over a couple of weeks to pay for the education that I give you and access to this members area. And remember, I've trained accountants, cosmetics, I've trained bookkeepers, financial planners, all these industries that this program works for them. It gets some results. However, as you know, while you can give people information, sadly, it's less than 10% that really do make the decision to study their craft, to be better at what they do. And maybe you're one of those people, maybe you're not, but that's entirely up to you. But I hope you found this helpful. My name's Trevor Russell. And of course, you can email me if you also want to have a chat. My email's in the details below. But thanks for watching up to here. It's been a pleasure to help you.